got a terrific 7-10 matchup here in this one in the South region. Remember, that's in the top left-hand corner of your bracket. We've got the number 7 seed Missouri Tigers taking on the number 10 seed Utah State Aggies in what should be a classic. First of all, for Mizzou, what a great year it has been. 24-9 for this squad. They finished 5th in the SEC. No one had this team doing much preseason, but here comes Mizzou. I believed in Mizzou last offseason, and they have rewarded us all well. Great season for the Tigers. They're playing their best basketball right now. Missouri, an absolute offensive juggernaut. Great ball movement. They put up a lot of threes. They hit them at a solid rate as well. And also, don't discount the fact that they're very efficient from 2. 13th in the nation in two-point offense for Mizzou. You love to see that as well. Demoy Hodge and Kobe Brown will lead the way for this Mizzou squad. Both are capable of going off for 30 points on any given night. Mizzou also has a great group, a great supporting cast around those two stars that can shoot and score, play a little defense as well, to help Mizzou out to victory. Speaking of defense, Mizzou pretty average on the defensive end. However, what they do is they force a lot of turnovers for their opponents. They're 5th best in the entire nation in forcing their opponents into turnovers. Mizzou puts pressure on non-stop, sometimes for 94 feet. The question for this Mizzou team is, can they guard for 40 minutes? Can they fluster other teams' guards? Can they make them uncomfortable? We know what they can do offensively, but can they cut it defensively to not only win this game, but win multiple games in the NCAA tournament? On the flip side, we've got the number 10 seed Utah State Aggies, who had a great season themselves, 26-8 overall for Utah State. They finished 3rd in the Mountain West this year. They lose in the Mountain West title game. This team also terrific offensively. They're 13th in the nation in offensive efficiency. They move the ball a lot. They take a ton of threes. They have the 10th highest assist rate in the nation, and they're also 11th in three-point percentage. As a team, they hit about 38.5% of their threes, which is a very, very solid average. The player to look out for in this one is junior Max Shulga for the Aggies. He's a great facilitator, and he's found his shot later in the back half of this season. If Shulga gets hot, the Aggies could be in good standing. Defensively, the Aggies are solid. They really do two things well. First of all, they guard the paint really well. They're 27th in the nation in two-point defense. They're also great defensive rebounders, 36th in the nation there as well. So they close out possessions when they get stops. You love to see that from an NCAA tournament team. My question for this team is, can they win when they don't hit threes? Right, in that game against San Diego State, this team was ice cold from 3. They struggled to score. They ended up playing San Diego State's game, and it was tough going offensively. Can Utah State win if they have a cold shooting night? I'm just not so sure. I think this is going to be one of the best 7-10 matchups in this tournament. Two teams with similar play styles, lots of ball movement, lots of threes. We're going to see a ton of chucking from the perimeter in this one. As of right now, I'm pretty confident in this Mizzou squad. They have been looking terrific down the stretch. They lost in a close one to Alabama, maybe the best team in the country right now. I just feel like Mizzou could get their offense from a lot of different places, maybe a little more diverse than Utah State can. And I'm afraid if one bad shooting night could sink the Aggies, I think there's a potential for that. If we want to look at this game on the upset potential meter, if you want to call this 7-10 game an upset, I would say this one is very likely to be an upset for the Aggies. However, I'm going to roll with the Mizzou Tigers. I think they make enough shots in this game, play solid enough defense to get by a really tough Utah State squad and move on to the second round of the NCAA tournament. Do you want to win your March Madness bracket pool? Do you want to not only beat your friends, but humiliate them? If that sounds good to you, subscribe down below because we are previewing all 36 first-round games of the NCAA tournament and give you the info you need to crush your friends and dominate your bracket pool.